Hello! The charity fundraising event is in its last phase now, with a number of auctions already listed and a few to be added over the last few days. I thought I should make a video to go through all of the things you can bid on to raise money for the Befriending scheme. Before I get to the ones already listed, I'll quickly look at this pile of goodies on my workbench. Right, you ready? Let's go. Bill Sands sent this bundle to me and he sent this note with it. He says, "Hi Lee, I've included the Spectrum and Joystick as promised for your charity auction. I took the liberty of adding a couple of extra Brucey bonuses that might help also. Good luck with the auction and I hope you make a lot of money. Yours sincerely, Phil." So this Harlequin down here is one of the Brucey bonuses. There's also a few bits here. Let's go through these first. This is Zeus Assembler, which is complete in box. Lovely tape, so you can program in Assembler. There's also, let's go with this one first. Discover Your ZX Spectrum, How to Write Your Own Programs by Mark Ramshaw. So a nice beginner programming book. Goes through all the basics. It is in a little bit of bad condition that it will need a bit of glue down that spine, but that will be as good as new. I'm not going to do that because I will mess it up. Melbourne House published Spectrum Machine Language for the Absolute Beginner by William Tang. I would have loved this when I was little. This is the sort of thing that I was craving for. And it was only £5.95 and it was published in 1982. I don't know how I missed it. So yeah, that would have been, I used to go to the library and find books on COBOL and stuff like that. And had nothing that I could get my teeth into. But that's the perils of living in a tiny, sleepy market town. So anyway, that's the programming side of this. There's also this Vulcan Gunshot Spectrum Joystick Pack, which is really nicely presented in the box. It's in really good condition. Everything in there looks new. I don't know if it is. The interface is Kempston compatible, and the joystick is leaf switched and it feels of its time. It's really nice. But yeah, in its original box with all the original bits, a lovely thing to go with this pack. And there's also this Spectrum in this box, although this is actually empty. I've got the Spectrum over there, but I'll show that in a second. But I just wanted to show you the box because the box is in really good nick as well. There's a little bit around the tabs. There's always a bit around the tabs because they were used. But let's have a look at the Spectrum. The first thing to note is the polys are in amazing condition. There is some tape damage around there, but the actual polys are just not dinged and dented at all. They're really nice. And inside we have a shrink wrapped ZX Spectrum, a bubble wrapped switching power supply, a modern power supply, and I think he's put that in the bubble wrap to stop it sticking to the polystyrene. Yeah, the Spectrum, I'm not going to open this because I don't want to ruin the presentation. Phil says he has refurbished this, so I think it's got a switching regulator. It looks like it's got a new membrane. It is probably, issue 3B or a 4, something like that. I can't see very well, but the case is immaculate. It is such a really good condition case. There is just not a single mark on there. I don't know if that's a new faceplate and keyboard, but the case itself is looks perfect as well. There's no scratches or dents anywhere on it. Really, really beautiful. Best condition Spectrum I've seen ever, I think, apart from one I got in Christmas 1982. The introduction manual is here and the basic manual. There's a Horizon software starter pack and ZX Spectrum flight simulation by Scion software. I can't get these out. I think they're stuck to the polystyrene. So just a. Oh, it's moving. Yes. Oh, there we go. Look, they're out. So we've got, yeah, really nice. Obviously, I don't think these are shrink wrapped from new. They do look in good condition though, but yeah, I think they've been shrink wrapped by Phil. But I mean, it's still a lovely thing to do them that way. So So he's got audio and video leads here. The Spectrum is composite modded and ready to go. So this is going to be listed on Wednesday. If I get around to it. It's going to be a long night. So yeah, he sent this Harlequin, and you can see it's a Harlequin issue 2D, and it's exactly the same board revision as the one I did in the Metrum. So, but it's got slightly different chips. The RAM chips are different, but the ROM is exactly the same, to the point where I was so impressed with the ROM that he put in. He sent me this note with all the different dip switch settings. I copied the EEPROM off this one and copied it onto the EEPROM in the Metrum, because it's just a much better implementation. But let's have a look. Let's connect up the RGB cable. There won't be any cables or anything with this. There'll be no case. It will just be the board for this lot in the auction. And if you win that auction, you're going to have to get a case that's got the cutout for RGB on it, because there obviously won't be a hole there, or you're going to have to cut a hole in a Spectrum case. I think you can get them from ZX Renew already with a hole cut out at that point. So that's an option. Right, so what have we got? First option is the 128 Toast Rack ROM. This is the one that I've left the Metrum on, and I'll leave this one. You'd probably use this myself. It's probably the most compatible one. But we've got other options. This one is the 48K ROM. This one's the Spectrum Plus 2A ROM. This one is called 9 Tiles OS. I've never heard of this. It says 128 plus 2E. And it's got plus 3 basic there. But it's also got floppy and IDE drives available to it. So it might be one for Neal at NLK Media. He's just built a Harlequin with a floppy, with an IDE interface built into it. I think it's the revision E, 2E or 3H, I can't remember. But yeah, he's just released a video about that, so go and check that out on NLK Media. He's just released a video on the build, and he's having some problems. So if you've got any ideas how to help him, because I've tried and I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, that's 9 Tiles OS. Now next is my personal favourite, the ZX81. This is a marvellous thing. It's running in hardware. It's not an emulator, so I think that it's like very, very compatible with ZX81 software, but it's not an emulator. It's running actually on the hardware. Very interesting that. I can't wait to play with that myself. Need to get myself a Harlequin. One for snorkers here, the Arcade Game Designer. So you can design games in this environment that's built into the ROM. And look, memory 35951K bytes free. Just that looks very interesting. Again, back in the day, imagine having something like that available. And the last one is the test ROM, which we know works. So that's that Harlequin. That will be listed by itself on hopefully Wednesday, ending on Saturday. Not sure which time yet. Thank you, Phil. That's really kind of you and super generous. You might have sent it earlier. It would have saved me building that whole other thing. I'm just kidding. Yeah, the auction, right, so the auctions that are already up, we've got the 2 books are doing quite well. ZX Nightmares, signed by Graham Mason. It's a beautiful book, really glossy, heavy pages, full of interesting stuff about all of these weird games. SAS Operation Thunderbolt, Super Sparkles 1986, following the runaway success of Ultimate's Night Law. Isometric games became very popular. Oh, excellent. Taxing and maddening. Well, no, it's the very opposite of fun. Oh dear. Right from the first screen, SAS Operation Thunderflex. This sounds like a book for Rose Tinted Spectrum. He would love this. I might recommend it to him. But yeah, that's that's doing well. The ZX Spectrum Astronomy book, that these are both donated along with the Magic Roundabout tape by Neal from RMC Retro. You've probably heard of him. I bet he doesn't get bored of that joke. He donated this, and I happen to know that Snorkers has a version that has this very book, but it's just exploring or discover the heavens on your computer. That's a really nice thing. That is a really beautiful book. So, and he also donated the Magic Roundabout. I don't know anything about this game, but if it's anything like the program, you're gonna get flashbacks. Also doing really well on the auctions are the mugs. Let's have a little closer look, because pictures don't really do them justice. Video might not do them justice either, but there's my MFMI mug and Neal's official Cave Dweller mug, and they're lovely. You want one of these on your desk full of pens or coffee. Coffee. So yeah, thank you, Neal, for letting me steal that from your cave. My mug, not to say whose is best, but my mug is actually unique. There is only one of those in the world. I'm not promising there will only ever be one in the world, but right now there's only one of those in the world. Maybe I'll make a contract that I won't make one for a year. Yeah, a year. Is that a contract? Also, something else that came through the post is these games by Alan Turvey, those three are Alan Turvey, and these two are by Andy Johns. But Alan Turvey also had something to do with those as well. These are all limited. They're numbered, and they should be signed. Andy signed his, but Alan is not in the country, so he couldn't sign his. But he said, if whoever wins these goes to Crash, I don't know what Crash is. I assume it's some kind of retro game show. But if whoever wins these goes to Crash and approaches Alan, he will sign these for you. But they are brand new ZX Spectrum games. So this is Roust, which is beautiful. Look at that cassette. That is amazing. That's not a sticker, that's printed on the cassette itself, but they are absolutely gorgeous. Let's quick look at each one. Chez Maxime, and that was also by Alan. Another one by Alan, Asteroids RX. I'm definitely playing that. I like a game of asteroids. And by Andy, we've got Midnight Brew presents Nixie and the Seeds of Doom. Midnight Brew is their game studio, I assume, but lovely artwork on that. That doesn't look like a Spectrum game that I ever saw. And Nixie and the Glade, Nixie the Glade Sprite. But yeah, beautiful. These are going in with the new build Spectrum, which you'll see again in a minute. I've got another new game here from Nigel from Nigel's Workbench. He made a game and put it on the tape and gave it to me to add to the auctions. So they're all new games going into the one with the smoked translucent case and the white keyboard. That one, it's got a tape player, new Spectrum, new games. You see the theme. So that's all going in there. He also gave me some badges. So I'll probably scatter those amongst the auctions. I'll try not to steal one for myself. Okay, this is the Metrum lot. Now the vinyl, it's just peeling up on that edge there. This thicker vinyl here tends to pull it up. And when it got really hot in here over the last, we had a heat wave. Some of it bubbled up a bit, but you just immediately, if you just brushed it down, it went straight back down, and it's doing the same again now. So I stated on the auctions that these vinyls are decorative purpose only. They are not going to be very durable. So just be aware of that. I don't want to put it down. And Mike DX did such a stunning job on these and helped me to fit them reasonably well. but they look amazing. So this is the case for the Metrum, which is a bit of a mess at the moment. But yeah, we've got a Dandinator from Krazy, his Twitch channel Rage Against the Retro. Go and check it out. This will have an SD card in it. I do need to change this slot, this edge connector, because it's set back too far. When you attach it to the Metrum, it's actually okay. That does go on there quite nicely, but if you plug it into a standard Spectrum, I haven't got one handy, it doesn't go all the way in. So I've ordered a new edge connector. Before this gets sent out, I'm going to take this one off, move it back, or put a new one on and put it slightly further out so that it will fit. I don't want the person that wins this to, you know, they might want to use it on a different Spectrum and it won't work. So I will fix that before it goes out. The Metrum obviously lives in here. Just got it open at the moment because I was messing around with the EEPROM. We've also got the diagnostic cartridge. This thing is fantastic. Absolutely amazing. I've got one of these for myself. I'm so impressed. So that's from Bike Delight, and that lives underneath the Metrum. Not got a case because it doesn't need one, but it's in its anti-static bag. That one lives in there. Not that way around, that way around. Like that. And the Metrum lives in here. We've also got an inline power switch, an audio cable. This was provided by Nigel from Nigel's Workbench, which has got TRRS at one end and dual mono at the other end. And we've got a zip stick from my own collection, a Euro power supply, so this can do 110 or 220 volts. But it's also got the UK adapter, DEF adapter, as Big Clive calls them. If this is won by somebody in the UK, I will change that for this power supply, which is a UK spec one. I don't, you know, this is fine. It's from Bike Delight. It's the official power supply from Bike Delight. If I knew it was like this, probably wouldn't have bought it. But if this goes to a Eurozone, I'll leave it like that. It's also got, I've just used it, so it's not actually in the case, the official Bike Delight SCART to RGB cable for the Metrum. So that's everything you'll get in that lot. That's already up over £500, so good luck bidding on that. This one is the other Harlequin box, and this one has Div MMC Future in it, with a memory card. That is a brilliant device. That is, works well with this. This is the Max 128 Harlequin. I'm not as familiar with this one, but it's still a nice thing. It's got I've only got the one ROM on here, so this has only got the toast rack ROM burnt to the EEPROM. But you can change it. Whoever gets it can put their own one on there. Just reprogram the ROM to whatever you want. But that is a really nice little thing. It's got my other, again from my collection, another pink zip stick. Lee Smith did donate a yellow one, but I tested that the other day and it's faulty. It's got a broken cable, so I need to order a new cable for that. But I'll have that one. I've put my zip stick in. These are a bit more valuable than the yellow ones. And we've got the Mega Drive 2 or Genesis 2 cable there as well that does the RGB for this one. It can do composite. One of these sockets here has composite and audio out on it, but if you've got RGB, why would you use that? But yeah, that's the oh, and the power supply lives under here in this box like that. That's a UK spec power supply, so if if someone else wins it, they'll I probably we'll sort something out. Not sure if those can do. Yeah, they can do 100 to 240 volts. So that would just need a converter. Right, this one, last one, probably my favourite. It's the very sexy translucent one, all original. This is a new ZX Spectrum Mr. Troll. That one comes with the audio cables by Nigel, and this is a very heavily shielded HDMI cable that goes with the ZX HD. So it's basically RGB to HDMI through the interface port. Very clever. Again, a power supply lives in there, and a new tape player with its power supply under here. And again, this one is going to be with the new games. They'll have to be packaged outside of it, maybe sent separately. Oh look, that's lifted up. Oh, it's a worry. But there we go. That's what that package is. All right, so thanks for watching that. I hope I covered everything. There's so much stuff going on. I'm I'm struggling to juggle all of it at once. But if you can help donate and help raise money for the cause, then please do so. You can find the Just Giving page in the link in the description of this video, or you can find it on my website, morefunmaking.co.uk/charity 2023, or I don't know. There'll be a link in the description. I'll probably put it up on the screen. But yeah, thanks for watching, and come along and say hello on the live stream on Saturday between 11 AM British Summer Time and 11 PM. There'll be lots of people for me to talk to and you to ask questions, and it should be a lot of fun. It's going to be tiring. All right, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.